Hello Ian, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 22, and we're back with HAAS, round 10 of our second season, and with a brand new driver lineup. We sacked spectacularly Kevin Magnussen at the end of Canada following his decision to get some echo there. We managed to clobber Alonso not once but twice in the same Grand Prix, and such gross unprofessionalism resulted in him being fired unceremoniously from the team, despite leading the Drivers' Championship by 1 point, only made possible by clobbering Fernando Alonso twice. So Kevin Magnussen is no longer with the team. We have dumped him and replaced him with our young rookie Logan Sargent, and that has allowed us to sign a new young rookie as the new reserve driver, which is Jack Crawford, another young American driver. He will be in the understudy role for the next season and a half, and then at the end of season 3 we'll be looking to promote him to the Car 1 race seats instead of Fernando Alonso, replacing him, and then we'll have an all-American driver lineup for HAAS, which is something I've been looking forward to getting to. So yes, that's a kind of a quick catch-up as to where we are. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Good to see you, Patkins. Good to see you, Farah. Let's get caught up with everything else. So let's take a look at our car performance. As you can see, we've got a very, very strong car going into today's Grand Prix. Do we have any points to allocate out? Oh, we do. We have a point for Javier. Let's see. His feedback's good. Let's put that on his pit crew. There we go. So it's time to do performance targets. Let's go ahead and see what the incentives and guarantees are. So the incentive is to get one car into Q3. That's going to be easily doable. In terms of qualifying position, not sure how well young Logan is going to do here. So we're going to go 2 in the top 8 for this Grand Prix, because I'm not sure as to how far off the pace he's actually going to be. And we're going to get both cars into Q2. Fastest lap is definitely a doer. Finish position, I'm going to go 2 in the top 6. I think that's fair. Quali position streak, 2 in the top 8 for 2 races. Yeah, we're on that. And then finish position, just going to do a 3 race streak, and we're going to go 2 in the top 6 again. I want to get a metric as to where Logan's pace is now that he's in the car proper. Let's take a quick look at his stats actually going into this Grand Prix. So you can see he's got very good pace stats, 80 on cornering, 82 on braking, reactions of 83. Those are pretty good pace stats for a very young driver. His accuracy is very good as well, 85. Control, 68, needs a bit of work. His smoothness also needs a bit of work. And his adaptability is his real Achilles heel. If we get any wet races, he's going to struggle. So we'll have to hope that we don't get too many of those this season, as we do need to work on these stats here a little bit, and also to continue to increase his pace stats before we can really start focusing on his adaptability. That's going to be one of the last things that we work on. A quick look at our reserve driver, Jack Crawford. You can see very young, but has a lot of potential. Good baseline stats all the way through. Nothing horrendously bad. Attacking, down here, the overtaking and defending stats, they're not massively important. I mean, they help, but they're some of the least important stats on a driver. We want to look at things like, obviously, his pace stats, his control, his smoothness will help. It kind of doesn't really do that much once we get it above sort of 60, 70. It just gives you an extra lap here or there, maybe. Accuracy is obviously something that needs a little bit of work as well, but he's got plenty of time to develop. So let's head into the Grand Prix weekend.
We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. Silverstone demands a lot of power from cars, with numerous twists and historic turns. Downforce is going to be a key factor to manage if teams want to succeed here. We're about halfway through the season now, and there's still plenty of time for everything to change. All eyes are on the teams and how they tackle the rest of the year. Okay then, let's get to it.
SITV says it's about time Magnussen got the boot. Well, maybe that's a little harsh, but yeah, he's gone. So let's carry on onwards and upwards. We have rain forecast for Saturday. That could be practice or quali or both. We won't know till we get there. But the race itself will be dry. That's good. Like I said, we want to ease Logan in. We don't want him to go straight into the deep end in conditions he's going to struggle in. So let's go into practice. We are going to give Jack his first run in the car as well. He's going to replace Alonso for this Grand Prix, or this practice session. Right, where's my notebook? There we go. Right, Silverstone setups. Here we go. So let's start off by swapping out car parts. So engine, put the older engines in. ERS modules, they're both fine. Gearboxes, we got some time left on that gearbox, and that one as well. Okay, so into car setups, we'll start with car 1. We'll go with, let's have a look. Let's go with the 6 and 11.5, a 9.1, 3.05 and a 0. Let's try that setup. We're going to go 18 laps, I think. 18 laps will be enough. Drop the pace down. There we go. Onto Logan. We'll go something a little different on this one. We're going to go 5.5, 11.5, 8.2. I'm going to go very different here. I'm going to go 3.5 and a 0.7. And that is just in tolerance for cornering, so that looks like it could be okay. Again, we'll go 18 laps, we'll drop the pace, and off we go into practice 1.
Radio check.
Radio check.
Alright, we know that Logan has a couple of lines in this, you know, radio check, copy, pit lane, that kind of thing. Let's see if Jack has any lines as well. I'm gonna guess not. I haven't heard any lines from any F3 drivers before, only F2 drivers. Actually, it's unlikely we'll actually hear anything from Jack anyway, unless he, you know, goes into the pit lane, because his engineer doesn't talk either. So, right, let's speed some time up. So we're getting a glimpse at the future of HAAS F1 here. 2 young American drivers in an American team. Hopefully they'll both be pretty quick. I know it's going to take Jack a little bit of time to develop. Logan is already a bit of a rough diamond, just needs a little bit more polish, I think, to get him there. And he's about half a second off at the moment, which isn't too bad.
Sounds like a spin.
Of course, that gap's going to be bigger to Alonso, but he's never going to be competing against Alonso in the same team, so...
Update when you can.
Okay, we have an 86%. That's pretty good.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
Oh, and a 95 for Jack. Very good start. Okay, let's call him in. So we just need some minor tweaks here. I do have another 9.1 setup. And that's with a 3.25 and a 0.45. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, let's give it a go. So far, Magnussen has not been signed by any of the other teams. Doesn't mean he won't be this season. We have seen some strange goings on with contracts with some drivers, but I think unlikely that we'll see him again this season. He's more likely to pop up next season. We do need to make some changes here, though. Let's have a look. So I have another setup here that I can try. So I've got a 6, 11.5, 8.2, a 3.4. and a 0.65. Those changes aren't enough. I also have a 6.5, 11.5, 8.2, 3.35 and a 0.7, and again those changes aren't enough either, so we're going to have to go a bit more dramatic here, a bit more drastic. Let's try that and see how that works. So this is uncharted territory, this setup now. I'm not sure what that was I actually clicked on there. I think that was just an aware warning. Yeah, it's probably just a gearbox wear warning. Doesn't look like any other reserve drivers are out in this session. Just having a look, everyone seems to be using their main two drivers. Yeah, everyone's using their regular drivers. Oh, spin for Leclerc.
Closer look. Watch this. There's Leclerc.
Just loses the back end.
Like a very nasty spin.
It's an odd place to lose it, but the spin itself did look quite realistic. Uh, 94%. So we actually went backwards slightly with Jack's setup there. Okay, so let's see. Let's just try shortening those gaps a little bit like that. And see if that's better. This car is now finished running today for this session, so this will be for Fernando to try out when he gets in the car. But a good first debut session for Jack there. No mistakes, no lockups, no running wide.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
And he ended up just a couple of tenths off Logan in the end. Although I think I forgot to change Logan's tyres. Okay, so we've got to an 86%. That's still not a big change. We got some things right, other things we got wrong. So the toe definitely needs to go this way instead. That has gone the wrong way, so that needs to go to there. Yeah, let's try that. I've got a good feeling about that. We're going to go with 24 laps. We're going on to the hard tyres for this session. Oh, wait, this is the rainy session, isn't it? We're going to go to the mediums for this session. No, rain is Saturday. So, yeah, we will go hards. Alonso. There we go. Made his change. He needs to run long. So we're going to put him in for 40 laps. Actually, it's too many. Let's go 38 laps. And into the second practice we go.
And radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, we can ignore the wear warning. And we can ignore the 1 second difference between our two drivers as well. Massive difference in terms of fuel loads. The truest indication of the difference in pace between Alonso and Sargent is going to be qualifying. You were reading about Frontier earlier. Yeah, Frontier have done a lot of different things. Farah, this is their first real foray into this type of game, but they're no stranger to management kind of games. I mean, they do the Planet Coaster games, the Planet Zoo games, obviously Jurassic World Evolution games, and yes, of course, they were the team behind Elite Dangerous as well. Oh, there we go, 95%. That's a nice uptick for Logan there. And 99 for Alonso, so we just need a little toe tweak, and then that's a 100% setup. Excellent stuff. Always nice when you can pretty much nail the setup to you just need to make one little click of toe, and it's done.
I think we've had a car run wide.
Okay, there we go. Logan has finished his run. Let's see what needs to be tweaked now. It's just the toe. Okay, so let's see. I've got to find 5%. That to me suggests at least 2 clicks. We'll try that. And I'm going to send him back out. I don't normally do this, but this is Logan's first Grand Prix, so I want him to be as comfortable with the car setup as we can possibly get him.
Someone spun out.
So we shouldn't get full feedback here, but we'll get partial feedback, enough to try and figure out if we've gone too far, or if we need to maybe make a correction to the camber as well as the toe here. Alonso meanwhile just pounding out the laps, up to 50% on his track knowledge now. For those of you who haven't already picked up a copy of the game and are interested, it is currently on sale in the PlayStation January store sale. I believe it's going to be on sale in other platforms as well, but it's definitely on sale on PlayStation. Not sure how much is off. It doesn't show me because I've already got the game. But yeah, it is in their end of year sales right now. Okay, how much feedback did we get?
Hello and
This is the rainy day. Okay, so we didn't go the right way, so that to me suggests maybe we do that instead. Is that a bit too much? This is why I wanted to do a quick test run at the end of the last session. We're going to go with 18 laps of fuel. We're going to go medium tyres. We're going to get rain, I think. Actually, let's go a little bit more just to be on the safe side, so I can get him running for the half hour in case we nail it. Fernando needs that little tweak of toe, and I'm going to go there. And if that's wrong, we can always go the opposite direction. We're going to go 30 laps of fuel for Fernando. That should be more than enough. And let's see whether the rain is coming in this session or in quali.
And radio check when you can.
Radio check.
There we go. Thank you, Farah. 23.99 until the 1st of January. Sorry, 6th of January. Yeah, that is definitely a great price for this game. And you are getting crossbuy. You're getting both platforms, PS4 and PS5. So if you like your platinums, which I know you do, Farah, that's 2 platinums there. I already have them both. The rain is coming in this session.
We think there is some rain coming.
Copy.
Yeah, I got the game at launch, as you know, and yeah, I'm not at all displeased with getting my money's worth out of this game. I've already put over 1,000 hours in this game. I love it. It does have its flaws. It has changed quite a bit since launch. It is a little shallow in some areas, but I get a lot of enjoyment out of this. And the way I look at a game's value as well is not necessarily how expensive it is. It's how much A, enjoyment, and B, life you get out of that investment. If you get a AAA £90 game, £100 game that you pay, you know, a lot of money for, and it's got maybe a 20-hour campaign, and you play it once and you really enjoy it, but you play it once and you don't really go back to it again. Have you got your money's worth? That's a little bit harder to decide. You know, that's a bit more subjective. But a game like this, where it's £40 at launch, and you know you get hundreds of hours out of it, I think that is, in terms of value, it's a much better value game. You know, if it was £40 and you only got 10 hours out of it, then yeah, that's too much. But
Sounds like we've had a spin.
So reporting a lot of rain.
Yeah, copy, copy.
okay, let's call the drivers in. Too late for Logan, and actually too late for Alonso now as well. So these are the conditions that Logan's going to struggle in. His adaptability rating is very low, as we saw. It's conditions like this, not so much when it stabilises, but certainly as they change. So as it gets wetter and as it dries up, those periods where it's uncertain,
And we need
that's where he really struggles. Once conditions kind of stabilise,
Copy.
he settles into a bit more of a rhythm, but, you know. Track drying up isn't so bad, but track getting wetter definitely hurts drivers with low adaptability. Right, let's go on to a set of inters. With both drivers. Not actually seeing any rain on the screen. I'm seeing little spots of water being kicked up by the wheels. I think the rain has already stopped.
update when you can.
93, we're still struggling to get this car set up. Okay, that's wrong as well, so... It's got to be there. That's all. That's the only thing I can think of. Right, let's see if the water's cleared. Oh no, it's still going to keep doing this weird water thing. We nailed it with Fernando though. That's good. So we're getting very unusual weather predictions going on here. Is it finally going to settle down now? Nope. This is one aspect that still needs some work. The weather centre just being massively inaccurate like this. So you can see how much longer that rain lasted than compared to when it should have gone away. The fact that it kept getting wetter even though the track hadn't been raining for many laps. Evening, Mr. Water, good to see you. Right, it does look as though the track has actually dried up properly this time. So let's call the guys in. Get them back on those mediums. And that's still not right. Is it really? Is it really back on that? Alright, there we go. That's Alonso back out. So we're not going to get the full bonus with Logan, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. Just couldn't quite get that setup locked in. And we're not going to have time to lock it in now, but at least I'll be able to see whether or not that little change is the right thing. We can roll back to a 95 or a 96, which isn't too far off. Oh, we did get full setup. 95. Okay, so... Did I not make that change in the end then? Yeah, I couldn't get that sussed for whatever reason. We tried that and it didn't work. We'll leave it as it is. There's no point making the change now. He's only missing 1 point on his bonus, which isn't too bad. So let's swap out some parts for quali. Let's start with the engines. It is a very fast track. 89% engines should be fine. ERS modules 45 and 46. I can just get away with that. Gearboxes definitely need to change. Fuel is fine for one run. Into quali we go.
And radio check when you can.
Radio check.
And now we can actually see the difference in pace between our two drivers. See just how far off Alonso Logan is. Oh, we got rain coming. We got rain in quali as well. Looks like I made the right call to just go out straight away. It's just a force of habit now, going straight out at the start of the session, and I didn't even check for rain. I just assumed it would be practice and not quali as well. So I think if the rain behaves the same way it did in practice, it's going to continually rain. Yeah, look at that in the weather forecast. It's going to rain in, well, any minute now, and then for another 8 minutes.
No more rain expected.
Okay, copy.
Typical Ferrari engineer, getting it completely wrong there. So we're going to ride on board with Logan in his first ever quali lap. See how he does. We do have some other cars out on track now, but they're not going to get in the way. Alright, as we come up to the line, Alonso is about to set the pace with a 126.7. Logan very close, look at that, just less than 1.5 tenths off. I'm impressed with that, very impressed with that. And there's the rain, and that's going to screw over quite a few cars. No need for either of our drivers to go back out again. Okay, so the track is drying up just in time for a second run, so everyone's going to get the chance to get a redo, essentially, on their time. Oh, no, wait, it's still fluctuating, look. More rain on the way. Are we going to see drivers getting caught out, going out on slicks with more rain coming? Or going out on inters on a track that's drying up? Let's have a look here. See what tyres we can see on cars as they go through. Can't really tell. They look like softs. Softs. They're softs. So they're all going out on soft tyres. But there is a threat of more rain coming. This whole weather thing is so screwed up right now. Alright, so they're all getting a do-over, essentially, here. We're all going to get to set proper slick times. So all those cars that were in danger of dropping out unceremoniously are going to get back through, but... There we go. So, very good pace for our two cars, comfortably ahead of the rest of the field, and Logan very close to Fernando. That is very encouraging. We're going to go out on scrubs for the start of this session, and we're going to go straight out again, just like last time.
And radio check.
Radio check.
No, we're going to get traffic. That will have hurt Sargent a little bit more there, I think. but still ended up very close, actually. I think it probably hurt Alonso a little bit more. And now we get to repay that. And again, that should be more than enough to get us through to the next session. So Stroll heads the queue, a long way ahead, then Leclerc, the two Mercedes. Let's see what times we can see. Stroll improves, goes up to 11th. Hamilton and Russell 5th and 6th, Verstappen 4th with an improvement but not positionally. Sainz up to 5th. Perez improves up to 6th, so the Mercedes dropping down to 7th and 8th now, ahead of the two Alpines of Gasly and Ocon. Albon is out, Stroll is out, Vettel, Ricciardo and Norris are also out, and I think Leclerc's already set his time as well. So that is it. That is our top 10 going into the shootout. Evening, Anthony. Right, brand new tyres for this session. Let's take a look at the weather as we get in. Oh, we've got rain. We've got to go straight out. So we'll let Alonso through. We'll get Logan, if he can, to try and hang on to the back of Alonso, but I think he might be... Well, he might be about right positionally there, actually. Are we going to get held up with traffic? Logan getting a nice slipstream, puts him ahead in queue in session 1, but P2... Yeah, P2. He had that first sector time with the DRS and the slipstream, but Alonso was just able to pull away. And there's the rain.
So be careful.
And that is pole position for Alonso. No one's going to get close to that time now. The Ferraris are going to struggle. Verstappen's going to struggle. Hamilton's going to probably end up last. Sainz does manage to get ahead of Ocon. Leclerc can't. Verstappen goes 10th. Oh, Hamilton did cross the line ahead, so I think that's our running order. Gasly very high up in 4th there. Yeah, everyone's going to have to go out on at least inters here. Which means these times are all going to be much slower than the times they've already set. So there's going to be, should be no change here to the running order. Verstappen and Leclerc really caught out there. Sainz as well. As they will start their final attempt, but there's a lot of water on that track still. And And there we go, everyone's crossing the line, nobody's improving.
No more rain. Let me know on track conditions.
Copy.
That's it. Pole position for Alonso, second place for Logan on his debut start, and very close to Alonso as well, just over a tenth off. That's very encouraging. And we've got a dry race as well, so we shouldn't have any issues with wet weather.
The grid is packed and there's electricity in the air. But there's no surprises in that. It's race day.
The big winners of qualifying were certainly HAAS. Now it's on them to demonstrate that they can finish strongly in the race as well. We saw a reasonably good qualifying performance from Ferrari, and they certainly have a good chance to capitalize during the race. We've been having sunny weather here today, but there are some clouds looming that might complicate things for teams further down the line.
Well, we're 52 laps away then from crowning the winner of the British Grand Prix. But one thing is for certain, it's going to be sensational.
So, strategy for the race. We could go with a 2-stop, we could go with an aggressive 1-stop. A 1-stop does look to be a little bit slower. If we're going to go 2-stop, we've got plenty of tyres. Let's see if a medium soft would work. Yeah, that looks to be good. Now, Alonso has obviously got much better tyre wear than Logan. But I think Logan should be able to pull this off as well. Let's look at a similar kind of schedule there. And we can adjust that on the fly if we need to. I might actually go an extra lap. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna take advantage of these extra soft tyres that we've saved. I mean, we could have gone with a 1-stop, but I kind of like the idea of being able to just take it easy on pace and still have very fast, grippy tyres. So, let's go into the race.
Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams. Looking at Fernando Alonso here. He won today. Let's see if they can take advantage of that position. There's the other HAAS. After an impressive qualifying performance, they're starting today just behind pole. And we're just moments away now.
Yeah, I saw your comments there, Anthony.
Anticipation is high, and the drivers are ready for this. The British Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
I mean, I do have about 0.8 of a second over the rest of the field in this car at the moment for this Grand Prix, according to quali, so I'm not too worried. Let's see, no one's starting on soft, so it looks like everyone else is going to go with a 1-stop, medium to hard or hard to medium. Probably could have started and should have started on the softs, but it does mean that if I can manage my pace on these mediums faster than the computer behind me, when they go onto their softs, their hards, I'm going to have 2 sets of softs. I'm going to have a significant tyre advantage over them in terms of pace. And already we have almost broken the gap to Gasly. let's go ahead and actually just make sure of that. Let's deploy on this lap.
Use DRS.
Copy, copy.
Alonso feeling the need to go defensive from Logan there. And again he goes defensive. Alonso feeling threatened by our young teammate here.
And DRS enable, DRS enable.
There we go. So we have a 2 second gap, 2.5 second gap, nearly 3 seconds actually between Logan and Gasly now. About half a second between R2. DRS will keep that gap nice and close. So, what did everyone else get up to for Christmas? I didn't do a huge amount. Played a little bit of Fireteam with a couple of buddies of mine. Recorded some gameplay footage. I might stick that up on the channel soon. Watched Die Hard with a couple of friends. And then watched Empire Strikes Back. That was my Christmas. Anthony watched Home Alone 2, Patkins had to work, Farah got drunk. Fair enough. As long as you all, got some enjoyment out of the day, that's the most important thing, I suppose. Right, Hamilton is up into third. Gasly trying to retake that position. That battle behind us will certainly help us extend our gap as well. As Logan's looking very racy here.
And charge button on, charge button on.
Copy.
Gasly starting to drop down the order a little bit. Perez has got past him as well now. And Sainz is lining him up. Leclerc's up to 7th. He's got past Ocon. Verstappen still down in 10th though. Let's keep an eye on this fight here. This little 4-car battle. Can Sainz get round Gasly here under braking? No, he backs out of it. He's going to struggle with Gasly getting that DRS. His best bet is going to be Gasly trying to make a move and getting a poor run out of a corner, I think.
And charge button off.
Copy, copy.
Verstappen has now moved up into 8th place. Leclerc now on the back of this fight as well. Probably not going to be too long before Verstappen joins in as well. Let's take a look at tyres. Sargent's tyres are wearing slightly faster, as expected, but not too much faster. Still pretty comparable to the rest of the grid. Norris is the first of the hard tyre runners on back in 11th. He's just 3 seconds off the back of Russell. There he is. How far ahead am I? I am about 8 seconds ahead of Hamilton right now. with Sargent, and about 4/10 of a second between the two drivers. And that is the fastest lap for Logan, as Ocon makes a mistake.
Let's have a look. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon.
Oh yeah, that's a big run wide there.
Completely off the racing line.
Yeah, I know it's a long pit lane. It's probably about 25 seconds here, not quite 30. But I do have the option of going on to hards because I'm starting on the mediums. So I'm not locked into the two stop on softs. And let's have a look. I am currently lapping about a second faster than the cars behind. Oh, Logan is side by side. Logan had the lead ever so briefly there. Actually, this will be a good chance to get Alonso charged up. My pace is ridiculous. Well, this is because I've been looking after the engine, so I'm on my second engine, but it's still a very fresh engine, whereas some of the AI are going to be a little bit more worn on their engines. So they might have dipped into their power threshold already. Oh, you'll find any reason just to have a dig at Hamilton, won't you? Alright, still this battle rages on. Verstappen and Russell have caught up. Ocon obviously dropped off the back of that with that running wide. Verstappen going very defensive there in the background. I wonder, is Leclerc going to shape up for a look? Okay, there we go. Both our drivers now fully charged. and free to race again. You can see the power of the slipstream there, just edging Sainz away from Leclerc. Oh, side by side through Maggots and Beckett's. Gasly loses out to Hamilton and loses out to Perez as well. Oh, he's still fighting back. Perez is going to have the inside line up here. He's going to get the DRS, I think. Actually, yeah, they're both going to get DRS, aren't they? Because of Hamilton in front. Still side by side. And Perez finally completes the move card. They were side by side for almost an entire lap there. That was incredible. And now Gasly is vulnerable to the Ferraris. Norris has dropped down to 12th. Just doesn't have the pace on those hard tyres. Albon's got in front of him. Gap is almost 12 seconds now, for those of you who are wondering. And Sargent and Alonso are side by side again. Sargent's just in front. Oh, we've had a spin. I think that is one of the Williams.
Sounds like a spin.
Yeah,
Here's
it's
the replay.
Latifi.
Now let's look. We're watching Nicholas Latifi. And there it is. That's where they spin out.
Now remember, turning off autocorrect means you can, live dangerously, or you can lube degenerates. He's still having a great little battle. Well, who's to say, Farah? Maybe that's a particular pastime of Mr. Otter. Who knows? We don't name and shame here. Well, we might name, but we don't shame. Gasly's still doing a really good job here, being able to stay ahead of the two Ferraris. They've been tucked behind him now for a long time. Do you think they should add multiplayer to the next game? I don't. I think they need to focus on expanding on the single player experience. There's a lot of things I would like to see in the game before multiplayer. One of those is engine failures. Have real reliability in the car, not just a wear rate. Increase the chances of a random puncture. Things like that. You know, the random events that happen in real life that don't happen in this. Sticking wheel guns at pit stops. And there's a whole lot more that we've already discussed that needs to be improved upon. Contract negotiations, for example. You know, being able to sign drivers, you know, before the before the end of the season and not have them move immediately. You know, pre-contract agreements. Maybe even a young driver academy. Oh wow, the rest of the field's coming in already. Okay, that's early. They must be two-stopping. Right, the Ferrari should be able to get past now, assuming it doesn't stop next lap.
And Sainz just pitted now.
And perhaps the biggest thing I'd love to see, 11th team on the grid, a my team situation.
Sounds like someone's locked up. We can take a look now.
All of those would dramatically improve the single player experience, and I think are much more important than adding in multiplayer.
The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Driver form is something that they could experiment with. The morale system is pointless in this, it really is. The communication stat on engineers is a complete waste of time, because you only have to pair up for a handful of races with a driver for them to get a good
Did somebody spin
affinity.
out there?
It's the most pointless
Let's take a
stat
look
in
at
the game.
replay. Now we see the Williams here. What a
Latifi
spin
having a
out.
rough afternoon. That's his second spin. Right, anyone else diving into the pits? No. So, are we seeing a split in strategy from these front-running teams here? Are they going one driver on a one-stop, one on a two-stop? Let's see how far behind those guys are now. So, behind Gasly, 21 seconds. So let's say you need 23, 24 seconds for a pit stop to account for tyre compound, wear rate difference. We don't need 30 seconds, maybe 24. Now we currently have a 17.5 second lead. I am going to go with the two-stop.
Box this lap, box.
Oh, there goes Russell into the pits. And he's going hard. So Russell was right on the back of Verstappen. And comes out 22 seconds behind him. We just drove straight through Latifi.
Copy, understood. Speed limiter on and speed limiter on.
Never seen that before. .9, I think that's our fastest stop of the season. Norris is in. That's early for a set of hard tyres. What's he going on to? He's going mediums. I don't think the mediums will do 30 laps. Oh, he gets held. So, Logan has a little bit of work to do. He is just under 2 seconds off the back of Verstappen, Gasly and Leclerc, who are all yet to stop. There's Alonso
Okay,
pits.
pit lane.
He's going to come out just behind Logan, I believe. Alonso sets the fastest lap in the pits. Oh, that was close. That was so close.
And you've done a good job. Well done.
Haas with an overtake.
So deployed.
Copy, copy.
You're doing a good job.
And Logan's just scything through. He's going to go swooping past here.
Haas with an overtake there.
Oh no, he's not. He's stuck. As Ocon, no, sorry, Gasly dives into the pits. Oh, Alonso pushed so far wide, but he still sneaks his way through.
Gasly just pitted now.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Who's run wide? Sargent forces his way through.
Someone's run wide.
It's a
Let's
mistake for
take
Norris.
A closer look. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris. And
Oh,
they've
that's
got-
not too bad. And there goes Verstappen, so surely Leclerc's going to pit at the end of this lap.
And just a reminder on garage.
Yeah, copy.
At the moment, we are the fastest car on track.
I think Alonso just pinched the DRS off Leclerc there as well. Yes, he did. So, both of our cars comfortably through now into the lead. Leclerc yet to pit. We are 19 seconds ahead of Hamilton. This result is already in the bag, assuming we don't get another get a safety car. That's going to bunch the field up. if we do, depending on when we get it, we can either go onto hards to get to the end, or we can go back onto mediums, which is probably more likely, or we can stick to the original plan and go onto softs, as Leclerc finally pits. Has he done enough to stay ahead of Hamilton? This is going to be tight. I think Hamilton's just going to get him. Oh, he comes out behind. So many cars there. Verstappen, Gasly, Sainz, Perez, Hamilton all get past him. I really do need challenge mode. Yeah, I am considering implementing challenge mode on season 3 of HAAS. Don't forget, next season is going to be wildly different. This season we came in with a strong car, and we had maximum testing to get the car strong, and then we had very strong, we had third place allowance testing for this season. Next season we're going to have first place allowance testing, which is going to be even more reduced, so we're not going to have the same strength. We're going to have less predictability in Logan than we had with Magnussen in terms of pace. Yeah, we'll have to see. I am seriously considering it. We're not going to change anything for this season, but definitely for next season I'm thinking about putting it in. I may possibly even, promote Jack Crawford next season, early. Alright, Alonso has finally got himself back into DRS range. But even with a lap of charging, we're still about, let's see, still about half a second faster than Hamilton while charging the battery. Without charging the battery, about a second a lap faster. And that's just raw pace. That's without any DRS overtaking. This car is massively powerful. I'm thinking of changing engine suppliers as well next season. Thinking of dropping away from Ferrari. Maybe going... I don't know. I mean, Red Bull's going to give me even more top speed, but it's going to give me more reliability in terms of, or wear rate on some components. Could go Mercedes. They've got the least powerful engine. Right, let's go into full save mode now. Let's get that fuel situation resolved. I'm going to drop the pace on the tyres down a little bit as well. Save the engines. We have that pace advantage. So again, we're trying to get through this particular season using as few components as possible. So we have yet to take any penalties, and I'm hoping we can get through the whole season without taking penalties.
Some lift and coast.
Copy.
But speaking of challenge mode, that will be back tomorrow. We will be back with Aston Martin, who will be heading to Canada, I believe. Right, just going to get a drink out of the fridge. I'll be back in a second. And I'm back. So, 23 laps to go. We have a 21-second lead. As Seitz gets up into fourth, Hamilton's actually pulled out a little gap. You can see he's got a little bit of clean air to the battle behind him. Can he keep that podium place for his home Grand Prix? "23 laps for Sargent to do a Magnussen." No, we are not going there. Sargent is the future of this team. Sargent is the future of this sport. Yeah, hopefully no dramas. Hopefully no crashes. Alright, that's enough fuel saving, I think. That should get us through to the end of the Grand Prix comfortably. We have actually lost a little bit of ground to Hamilton, but that's okay. Now that we're no longer doing any lift and coast, that should change. Let's see what it was last time. So we were about half a second slower.
Let's have a look. We're just watching the Red Bull. That's the contact there. Oh, there's chaos on the track.
I look away for 1 second. What happened?
And that That
What did
was a
I miss?
bitter blow for the team, and it may have really hurt their overall
Oh, wow,
chances.
did you see carbon fibre flying everywhere?
It's a crash, and it's more than one car. Here's the replay. Now here we see Max Verstappen.
Oh, goes very wide, and he comes back on and he hits his teammate. Oh, shocking. We've got a VSC.
Yeah, copy.
Okay, we can ignore and ignore.
And it will be DRS off. So
Might
there
as well.
was a crash.
Yeah, copy.
Perez goes on to softs. And Verstappen has to do another lap with a broken front wing. That's his race. Completely boned. You might have been joking there, Mr. Water, but I'm not. The Jim Bob giveth, the Jim Bob taketh away. Right, is he actually able to keep pace under this VSC? Looks like he might be able to. So it's not a complete disaster for Verstappen, but it's not great. Oh, the VSC's ending. Okay, now it's a disaster.
Virtual safety car ending. Virtual safety car ending.
Oh, Verstappen actually kind of lucked out there. He only had one corner to face with half a wing. And Verstappen going for soft as well. That's something else I want to see in the new game. Front wing change animations. Codemasters can do it. Alright, let's take stock. Sergeant leads from Alonso. Hamilton 20.8 seconds behind in third. Sainz in fourth, 1.9 seconds off. Then Gasly right behind him. Then Leclerc, a little gap to Russell. 8.5 seconds back is Ocon. Norris 4 seconds back. Albon second and a half. Perez now down to 11th as a result of having to change his front wing and tyres. And Verstappen now down in 16th. So disaster for Red Bull. Perez will get back in the points. He's only 1.2 seconds off Albon. He'll get past Albon, especially on those softs. He'll get past Norris. He may even get past Ocon. He's got time to do that. Verstappen. Oh, Perez is pitting again. What is going on with Perez? Why is he pitting? Has he got damage again?
Who's running wide there?
I think he's got a damaged front wing. He has. He's got a damaged front wing. So either they didn't change that, and it was just a scheduled pit stop on the last lap that he pitted, or somewhere on this lap he's also damaged the front right end plate of his wing. He's in for another set of tyres and a front wing change. So Perez is not getting in the points now then. So Verstappen has an outside chance of getting 10th. But I think that's probably as high as he's going to get. Perez, I don't think he's going to make the points at all. Oh, what a disaster for Red Bull. That's glorious. Absolutely, that's Perez's race done with. As Alonso tries to go at the inside of Sargent, he's got to go around the outside now through here. Can't hold it. We're in the pit window. We're going to come out somewhere around Gasly and Leclerc when we pit. So yeah, looking at that, Verstappen is 13 seconds off Albon. I think he's got enough pace. Let's have a look. He did a 1:30.5. He was 1.6 seconds faster than Albon. So Verstappen's on for points. He might possibly get Norris, but I don't think he's going to get higher than Norris. I think that gap to Ocon's a little bit too far. If he can keep that pace going, who knows? But obviously those soft tyres are going to have a grip threshold where they start to degrade a little. Perez, we don't have a competitive time for Perez yet. Got to go another lap yet. He is, let's see, 10.5 seconds off the back of his teammate. I'm going to go 11th, maybe. 11th or 12th, I think, for Perez. Alright, let's call in Logan.
And box now, box, speed confirm.
Copy, boss.
Hamilton, much to Farah's annoyance, is still keeping that gap to fourth about 2 seconds. So he's on for his podium right now.
Going down the pit lane.
Copy. And speed limiter on.
Okay, we've got some pit stops scheduled for other cars as well. Sainz is in, and Hamilton's in. Oh, wow. These guys are two stopping, look. Albon's in as well, so maybe it's not all over for Red Bull after all. What's Albon going on to? Mediums. Ah, the Red Bulls going to have to stop again then. Were their tyres brand new? I don't think they were.
Look at that! They've run wide!
Oh, Zhou with another error.
There. Let's take another look. There we have Zhou. They've gone wide!
And there we go, that's both Red Bulls through, ahead of Albon.
Copy. Pit entry.
And Latifi boxes to get out of the way of Logan there. .3.1, it's not a great stop. Here comes Sargent. Oh, God, that was close again. Right, so let's see. Verstappen doing a 130.3. There's a 131.6 this lap. What is going on with these timings? They're all over the shop. I think it's because Alonso pitted. Just let them settle down. Right, so Verstappen is 3 seconds off the back of Vettel and lapping about half a second quicker. Perez, 8.5 seconds behind Ricciardo, but lapping nearly 2 seconds faster. Yeah, maybe it's not over for Red Bull. Maybe they can get some points out of this. And now Russell pits. I can't believe the number of AI guys going onto a two-stop here. I wonder if it's our pace that's forcing the AI to make that choice. Here comes Norris and Stroll and Vettel as well. Softs for Norris, who gets held as Stroll goes through. He's going softs. Got to imagine Vettel's going to go soft as well. Yep. So we're seeing a mix of tyres coming into play here. Zhou is in, as is Tsunoda. They've got to be going soft as well, surely. Yep, that's softs. And softs for Tsunoda. So there's some very strange tyre choices going on up and down the grid here. I'm still not convinced Verstappen and Perez can actually go to the end here. I think they might need to stop again. Ricciardo, I think, will go to the end. Bottas will go to the end. Ocon, not so sure about. Gasly, touch and go. I think Leclerc will go to the end. All the medium guys are going to go to the end, and all the soft guys, apart from the two Red Bulls, are definitely going to the end. I think maybe he may have to pit. I don't know, he's got 13 laps left on those tyres. Alright, let's see, where are the battles? Hamilton is now in 6th. Is he closing? No, he's not closing on Ocon. Or not on that last lap, anyway. He is half a second faster than Sainz. Just keep an eye on the live timings. Looks like he is actually closing. I mean, he should be. He's on fresher tyres. And Sargent is still leading this Grand Prix. What a debut this could be for Sargent. And when we saw at the beginning of the season, he was only a couple of tenths off both Kevin and Alonso. We knew he had decent pace, but he's been so smooth and consistent so far. And there we go. Ocon's got no defence against fresh mediums on those worn hards. So Hamilton back up to 5th. Gasly is still on hards, as is Leclerc. Big gap though, 16.5 seconds. And 12 laps to go, including this one. And he's only lapping a second a lap faster. So, unless Gasly and Leclerc stop, Hamilton is not going to get a podium. Not against Leclerc, anyway. He might get back ahead of Gasly, but he's got no answer to Leclerc. Leclerc's pace holding it really well. Oh, we've had a spin. Your heart will bleed. It's Sainz. Sainz with a spin. I wonder why there was a lack of a car behind those two. I couldn't figure out which one it was. Now I know. So that spin cost Sainz about 4 seconds. Burn off some of that excess fuel. Are there no team orders in this game? You have the ability to set team, well, kind of. I mean, I can tell my driver not to fight their teammate, but the list of driver commands also needs expanding. I'd like them to be able to not challenge the car in front, regardless of whether it's your teammate or not. So if you want to try and just or let the car behind through, regardless of what they are, I'd like that to be in there, so that if you're being pressured by a car that's faster than you and you're trying to run to a set strategy and you don't want to mess that up by fighting and wearing out your tyres, you can just order your driver to pull over and let them through, give up the position, and then try and just tuck in behind them and not hurt your race that way. So I'd like to see those commands added in, but yeah, there are limited team orders in the sense that, let your teammate through or not. We've had another spin. Who's it this time?
We've just had a spin.
Latifi again. That's his third spin.
We're watching Nicholas Latifi. And yes, that's where they spin out.
That's his most extreme spin so far. Alright, Hamilton was 1.3 seconds faster on the last lap. Actually, no, it was 1.2. Gasly crossed the line already. Hamilton's about to. Yeah, 1.3 seconds faster. The gap is 13.5 seconds. There are, including this lap, 9 laps to go. He might just get Gasly. Let's have a look at Gasly's tyres. They're down to 57%. They should hang on, but they're not going to be great at the end.
At the moment, we are the fastest car on track.
New fastest lap for Logan. So yeah, if I wanted to, I could instruct Sargent just tuck in behind Alonso and not attack his teammate. But I don't like to impose team orders. I only do it when it's absolutely necessary. I prefer to let my teammates fight each other rather than have a clearly delineated number 1 driver and a number 2 driver. Like Ferrari have done over the years and like Red Bull have done since Max got in the team. And to a degree since Mercedes have done as well. It's not been so prevalent this season, but Bottas clearly became a number 2 to Hamilton, even if he didn't necessarily start out that way. And that's partly thanks to that epic season where Rosberg and Hamilton were just scrapping all the way through the entire season, kicking off with that amazing fight at Bahrain. Yeah, Verstappen is pitting. I didn't think he'd be able to go all the way to the end. Alonso spun.
Someone spun out.
Fresh softs for Verstappen.
Look.
Let's have a look at what happened to Alonso.
Focus on the HAAS.
Oh, Logan did well to avoid getting collected. let's stop pushing them. Try and reduce any future mistakes. So Verstappen's back out now in 15th. Again, he's on used tyres, but they are now the best tyres on the grid. Okay, so what about Perez? Perez has got to be thinking about pitting. 45%. Those tyres could theoretically go to the end, but they'll be absolute garbage by the time he gets across the line. Six laps to go. Verstappen is not going to get points. I don't think. Well, maybe if Perez pits. He's going to have to drive like a man possessed, but Perez stays out. We could be on for a real barnstormer finish with Verstappen here. Hamilton is now 9 seconds off Gasly, who is not pitting. So Hamilton is not going to get higher than 5th by the look of it. Although he has comfortably been pulling away from Sainz. Partly helped, I think, by that spin from Sainz.
And 5 laps to go.
This has been a supreme drive from Sargent so far. Is Verstappen going to steal the fastest lap? Perez pits. There is Verstappen just going past the pit lane entrance, so he's going to get past his teammate. We had a lock-up.
That's a lock-up.
It's another lock-up for Latifi.
Now we see the Williams here. Just a bit too heavy on the brakes, and they've locked up.
Close to the back of that Alfa Romeo there. Oh, what a nightmare race he's had. Surely he's going to be gone next season.
The team had such high hopes today. What a shame.
So Perez comes out all the way down in 16th. Let's see, Verstappen, to get to 10th place, he's got to find 2 seconds to Stroll. Well, 1.5 plus Stroll, that's 2.5. 5. He's not going to do it. He needs 7.5 seconds to get to Norris. He's not going to do it, so no points at all for Red Bull. What a great drive though for Logan. He is not quite as quick as his teammate, but he's been so smooth all weekend. He hasn't put a foot wrong. And I do realise I'm doing a Murray Walker and risking the curse of the commentator here, but yeah, he's been flawless. Didn't quite have the pace to get pole position. Didn't expect him to get pole position. But he's got the fastest lap. He's got a 4-second lead over his teammate, who is not lapping fast enough to catch him. What a debut this is going to be for the young American driver. Red Bull's race was over a long time ago, really. Well, yes, it was in terms of, you know, a great result, but I mean they were in with a chance of points. Verstappen actually pitted from the points. He was in 10th when he pitted. If he'd been able to go, this is why he should have gone mediums. If he'd gone mediums, he could have gone to the end, but he went softs, which I did not expect. Had to pit again, and you know he's going to get Ricciardo, but and he's probably going to get Stroll, but 12th is going to be it. This is the only battle that's left on track.
And 2 laps to go.
Stroll's going to have too much, you know, tyre-wise to be threatened by Ricciardo, who's already over a second off the back of Verstappen now. So he's been dropped already. This is it. This is the last fight there is. Perez isn't even going to catch Vettel. He's going to finish in 16th. Alright, here's my fastest lap at risk. No, it's not. 129.8. It's a 129.1 for Logan. Not at risk. My most comfortable win on the channel? I don't know, there's been a few. I mean, the gaps are smaller than they could have been because we've just basically spent the last 20 odd laps at this pace, you know, with no tyre push at all. You know, just to protect that engine a little bit more. But yeah, it's been comfortable. It's been very comfortable. It wouldn't have been quite so comfortable had more cars stayed on the one stop, not left Leclerc isolated where he couldn't really piggyback that pace with another driver. But even then, I don't think it would have been enough. I think we would have had this easily wrapped up. That's the fans showing their appreciation for Logan Sargent. This isn't the first time Alonso's been shown up by a young rookie teammate. And there we go.
And checkered flag.
Logan Sargent wins his first ever Grand Prix. What a result. Alonso home in second. A good fight back from the spin. closed the gap down by a couple of seconds, but Leclerc takes third. Hamilton is only 2 seconds off the back of Gasly now, but he's not going to get him. He just needed another lap, I think. He comes home in 5th. Sainz 6th. Russell is going to come home in 7th. Ocon, Bottas and Norris will bring home the remainder of the top 10. Verstappen is only going to finish 12th. I think he's too far away to have a lunge. Yep, too far off. So 12th place for Verstappen. Perez 16th place. What a disaster for Red Bull. What a disaster for Latifi. 3 spins and 2 lockups. How is he still on the grid? Look how far behind he was. It's just a shame we don't get to enjoy the podium.
This is a good result for Haas, more than enough to satisfy the whole team.
This was thrilling to watch. They've done an excellent job and they deserve all the plaudits.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be forging ahead at full throttle through the Styrian forest. The Austrian Grand Prix is right around the corner.
Ooh, Austria next. That's going to be a fun one. There we go. What a debut for Logan Sargent. The win and the fastest lap. Maximum points available. Good recovery from Charles Leclerc after getting caught out in the rain in quali. Gains 6 places from 9th up to 3rd. We'll get it right in the end. Disappointing for Hamilton. Couldn't quite hang on for his podium, going for the 2-stop against the 1-stop. Gasly's 1-stop also working out for him just another lap and he would have been overtaken. Ocon couldn't make his 1-stop lap. 1-stop work, nor could Bottas, although he did gain quite well. So I suppose, Bottas's 1-stop did work, really, considering where he started. But that was mainly, I think, down to the help from the Red Bulls. Disappointing from Max, dropping 2 places. Perez down 11 places as he was clobbered by his teammate and then had to stop 2 laps in a row. I'm not really sure why. Did he damage his wing a second time? Or did he just not get his wing changed on that first pit stop? Was that a scheduled stop and then they didn't have time to fix the damage because it had already been programmed in? Who knows? I'll have to go back and check the footage, I think, at some point. And then, disappointing for the 2 Williams, both a long way off. Latifi in particular, an awful, abysmal race. Into the Drivers' Championships, Magnussen no longer in the championship, still in 2nd place. Fernando moves clear onto 200 points. Leclerc's podium is 9th podium of the season. That's his 9th 3rd place of the season out of 10 races. And he is 145 points, 55 now behind Fernando Alonso. Sainz coming home with 8 points, keeps him in 4th. Max, no points at all. Hamilton closes him up by 10. Gap just 5 points between those two now. Good result for Pierre as well, keeping him within striking distance of Hamilton. No points for Perez, all the way down in 8th place in the championship. That is ridiculously disappointing for him. And look at that, Logan Sargent on his first Grand Prix of the season immediately jumps up into 10th place, ahead of Ocon, ahead of Bottas, ahead of Ricciardo, Albon, Vettel, Norris. All those drivers have all scored points and they're all behind Logan after just 1 race. What a great start for him. In the Constructors, maximum points for us, we are now on 409 to 250 for Ferrari. So a big gap there, 159 points. Red Bull, disappointing for them, no points earned. Mercedes with 16 points closes that gap down to just 14 now. Another good result for Alpine sees them moving up into 5th, ahead of Alfa Romeo. In terms of the pecking order, we thought Alfa were going to be very strong this season. Hasn't worked out that way. It's definitely been an Alpine season. McLaren chipping in with another point. They are sort of scrapping with Alfa for 6th place in the championship here. And another disappointing race for AlphaTauri, just not getting any points. They are slipping into obscurity a little bit here. So, an impressive race for Fernando. 8 successful overtakes, 8 successful defences, 22 failed overtakes, 5 failed defences. What an exceptional race, though, for Logan. 8 successful overtakes, 21 successful defences, and all of those pretty much against Fernando. 9 failed overtakes, 6 failed defences. A good haul of points for him with his multiplier, brings him up to a good chunk of points. And look at Jack Crawford's multiplier, 1.92. He's going to develop so fast. Yeah, might throw him in at the end of the season. We'll see. We'll see how quickly he develops. Sponsorship-wise, we complete our incentives. We complete the quali streak. And our guarantees are all completed as well. We come out with $6 million at the end of that Grand Prix. And the new side pods are ready. So let's have a quick look. No points. No points. So new side pods. Let's go ahead and manufacture those. Grand Prix in 4 days, so we're going to need to emergency those. And we're going to start researching because we've got enough parts, I think. Yeah, we've got enough of a gap in performance. So let's take a look at research. Is it just the front and rear wings that are changing next season? I guess it is. We are 56 days away from our next project. Let's see. Let's do a big rear wing project here. No, let's go front wing. Let's do a big front wing project. So we want to increase as much as we can on those. Airflow sensitivity. Our dirty air performance has always been very strong. We want to make sure it stays strong. And we want to improve the high speed airflow as well, because that's going to get a big hit on next year's reg changes. We're going to throw, let's see, 56 days. Let's go 5 engineers. There we go. And that will complete just in time for, well, just after the next ATR period. We have an email response. Ooh, regulation changes. As you know, we changed regulations to make the sport fairer, blah, 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 blah. So, this is point scoring changes. So, it's going to get rid of the fastest lap bonus point, and it's going to revert us back to the 90s scoring. 10 points for first, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Right, facilities, let's have a look. Anything in danger of breaking? Just the wind tunnel, which is being upgraded at the moment. CFD simulator's a little bit further behind. Everything there's good. Staff facilities. Ops facilities, got a lot of things here that could do with a bit of a touch up. Let's go ahead and refurb our hospitality and our boardroom. We're not going to upgrade them, we're just going to refurb them. We've got refurbs going on here as well on those two. to check in with the board. We haven't seen them for a little while. So back to being delighted with the results again, as opposed to just being happy in Montreal after the whole Crashgate debacle. More than satisfied with everything else. They're happy with finances. We are well on target for our season objective. We've already completed the long-term objective again. Spare suspension is is done. The refurb on our memorabilia room is done. And the helipad refurb is also done. We have an up-and-coming driver, Victor Martins, brought to our attention. Not looking at him. 1 day to go. And there we go. We are at the beginning of the race weekend for Austria. So, a great debut race for Logan Sargent there. What a performance. So smooth. No dramas whatsoever. His tyre wear, you saw how little his tyres were wearing in comparison to Alonso. There wasn't a huge difference. That goes to show how little impact the smoothness has. I mean, it does have an impact, but it doesn't have a major impact. As long as your driver's got a smoothness somewhere around about 60, that should be all you need to then allow you to focus on other things like his pace stats. They are the most important stats for a driver. Once you've got those sorted, then you can go back and you can start looking at getting his smoothness a bit higher. There will be some tracks where it will hurt him. Austin, Texas, COTA for one. The tyre wear there is ridiculously high. But other tracks like Singapore, where the tyre wear is so negligible, he's going to be fine there. He's going to be absolutely fine. So, it's good to see. A great result for him. Good to see he's got some real pace. And seeing that multiplier for the first time for Jack Crawford makes me really excited as to how quickly he's going to develop, to the point where we may possibly put him in the car next year as well. We just need to get these pace stats a bit higher. That's all we're going to focus on this season, is just getting those pace stats up. If we can get the braking to 80, work on the cornering, and then get that up to 80, and then try and get his reactions up to 80, and see where he is at the end of the season, we may well be dropping him in for Fernando for the start of season 3. We shall see. But that is it for tonight. We have had a great weekend of racing at Silverstone. We look forward to more HAAS next Monday, but tomorrow is the return of challenge mode, back with Aston Martin. We're going to Canada, and we've got challenge mode on tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday is the return of Williams for the continuation of season 3 as we head to Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed tonight, and I will see you all again very soon.